All right, there we are on YouTube. We're about to start our show.
Okay.
Say
we're
hello.
on.
Good
Hello.
morning.
This is Kathy Taylor, former mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma, CEO of Impact Tulsa, lots of other things, good things.
Glad to be here
Yeah,
on this beautiful fall day.
we're glad that you are here.
All right, so we're about to get this Life Matters started. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to This Life Matters. This is Gigi.
And this is Drew. How are you today, Gigi?
Glad to be back in town with you. Missed you so much for the last couple of weeks.
I missed you too, and I got a little bit full of myself because I was sitting there and I started to rename the show several times, with Drew and Gigi. Because you were gone, and I said, why not? Why not? Drew and Gigi flows well.
Earlier this morning we were doing a Periscope, which I didn't even know what that was
Yeah.
until we did that.
Well, let me just start
I
one
said,
now.
I'm going to need to spank you, and I'm going to say that again.
Here's the thing. When it boils down to what we do, we have a lot of fun with what we do. So, I don't think that would be good entertainment.
For me to spank you?
Yeah, on camera. I think it would be weird.
Regina would love it.
Yeah, it would be weird. It would just be too weird.
Okay.
So,
well, going forward.
Yeah, where do we go? How do we get into that?
We're moving on to the real show, which now is welcome, Kathy Taylor.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Former mayor of Tulsa and CEO of Impact Tulsa, and just so many other great things. It's hard to name them all, Kathy.
Thank you.
Really, I mean, Google Kathy Taylor, and you can really.
There's an amazing gospel singer also by Kathy Taylor that you can hear some of her great music if you Google Kathy Taylor as well.
Oh, okay. We'll have to try that.
Oh, that's interesting. I never knew that.
This morning we want to get right into our topic, which is talking about Impact Tulsa. And I know about Impact Tulsa a little bit. Drew doesn't know.
I have no clue.
We're periscoping now.
If I can get my finger out the way.
Periscoping and recording.
Yes.
Well, so let me tell you a little bit about Impact Tulsa. About 18 months ago, a group of educators and funders of education, business community, faith community came together and said, our graduation rates haven't changed much in the last 40 years. We're losing kids, and we know if kids drop out of high school in today's environment, they're unlikely to get a job, and they're likely to be involved in the justice system. And they said, we need a new way of working together. So we looked around the country and found communities that were working together with shared accountability for education. Each one of us having a role, different responsibilities, but sharing accountability. And 30 of us came together and said, we're going to start Impact Tulsa. It's a new way of working together to say that we all have a responsibility to ensure that every kid in our community has a pathway to high-quality education and success in life.
That is fabulous. Drew?
Yes.
What do you think? You're busy with this.
Yes, I'm busy doing like 3 things. You're gonna have to do the
after this.
You're gonna have to do the heavy lifting for a second.
Okay, I will. As I said off air, it takes a village, and this is the ultimate. It takes a village. So 30 people in all walks of life.
30 people in all walks of life, and then we just put a call out to the community and had almost 300 people show up to outline what we thought were the most important priorities in education. And they said kindergarten readiness, 3rd grade reading. We know if a child leaves 3rd grade not reading at grade level, they're 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. 8th grade math, in a community that has a need for STEM careers, only a third of our kids leave 8th grade on track for college math. Only a third. We know that 60% of our workforce in 2020 is going to require a post-secondary certificate or degree of some kind. And we have great opportunities in this community, yet we're just not reaching those numbers. So 300 people came together, decided what our outcomes would be, and now we have over 1,000 partners who are working with us on various ways to change the trajectory for kids in our community. And we know that we have an incredibly high poverty rate in this community. And that means not every kid comes to school ready to learn.
Well, they're hungry.
They're hungry.
Tired.
They're sick.
They're sick.
Right. They may have not had a stable place to sleep the night before. And so we as a community need to understand what those needs are and help address them very strategically, each in the role that we can.
So what you're saying, some of the reasons that we are not reaching the children in the way that we need to in those grades is because of poverty, not enough food,
Right.
not enough sleep, not a stable environment, other things?
Well, for example, you'd be amazed at the number of kids who have no books in their home. And so if a child doesn't go enroll in a district pre-K program, which is free, we have
Mhm.
universal pre-K in this
Mhm.
community, in this
Mhm.
state. If they don't enroll in that program and they don't have books in their home, or a family that has the time or inclination to read to them, they're not going to start kindergarten ready to learn. So we know that if a child enrolls in a pre-K program in the district, 75% of them walk into that kindergarten classroom and they are ready to go. But if they don't and they're in a poverty environment, only 44% of them. And when you break that down by race, we know only 32% of our Latino kids and 44% of our African American kids walk into kindergarten ready to read. So that just accentuates this equity gap. So we really want to address that. Get kids start early and end well. That's our
Mhm.
goal.
Okay, start early and end well. Drew, what's your experience with this?
I think that everything that we're hitting on is a great thing. I think we've had a lot of groups around America do things of this nature. What's different? How is this going to actually be rolled out in reality?
It's a great question, and we get that all the time. It's, there are these things happen every year. This is a completely new way of working together. Our staff is 4.75. We have 4 full-time people and 1 3/4-time person, and we're the backbone that convenes the community. We don't develop programs. We help measure what really matters, like finding out that if you're enrolled in a district pre-K program, you're more likely to be ready for kindergarten. So what we'll now do as a community with our volunteer teams, is get the word out to parents who might think that it's not important to enroll their child in a pre-K program, and have a goal to increase that enrollment. FAFSA completion, financial aid form completion. We found out that while we have an 86% poverty rate in our TPS high school, only 53% of the kids are completing that financial aid form that gets them to a post-secondary degree or certificate. So what are we doing? We're bringing together the community in a new way to support those kids very strategically. We want to increase that financial aid completion form to 60% this spring alone. So what our goal is in this new way of working together is to take that data and not just report it and lament over it, but to figure out how do we take action, check whether that action worked, and then continuously improve to reach more and more kids